Okay, question 2. So I've got a line and I've got its equation, and I've got a point and I've got its coordinates, and I've got to find a gradient. So here's a trigger word. Okay, so how am I going to get the gradient of AB? Okay, well, there are 3 methods for gradient in Core 1. One is the 2-point method, one is the arranging a straight line method, and the third one is differentiation, which you may not have done by the time you're watching this video. So what have you got? Have you got 2 points? Have you got the equation of a line? So what do we want the equation of a line to look like to get a gradient? We want it in the form y equals okay, and then once you've got it rearranged correctly, you can read off the gradient, and you could also read off the y-intercept, except you don't care. Alright, so that's how you get the gradient of AB. Now, hence means you're going to be directly using your previous answer. Okay, find an equation of a straight line. So an equation of a straight line, you can stop reading almost at this point and start on your solution template. If you ever get a straight line, it is always going to be set up a point, set up a gradient, and then set up the y minus y1 recipe. Okay, if you're ever going to set up the equation of a line, that's what you're aiming to do. So, am I going to be able to find a point? I think you are. Are you going to be able to find a gradient? Okay, all right. If you're struggling to think, where do I find a gradient? Look at this word hence. Look at what you just did. Okay, and passes through A. So maybe that's a clue about what point you should use. It's really not going to be a problem, is it? Next bit starts the line AB. Well, here's the line AB. Okay, intersects. That's a trigger word. Okay, intersects. That means when 2 graphs intersect, we are solving simultaneous equations. So this word tells you the method. We've got, so we need 2 equations. We've got the line AB. Ooh, we've got another equation of another line. Ooh, I've got 2 equations. Okay, so finding the coordinates of B, solve the equations. Coordinates, so the answer should look like this, shouldn't it? And then in part C, we've got a new point C, and it's got some coordinates. So these coordinates are going to be important. The distance from A to C. So there's a trigger word here, distance. You have a 2-point recipe for distance. This is a bit backwards because we know the answer to that, so I need 2 points. What are my 2 points? Okay, here's one of the points is A. Here's A. One of the points is C. Here's C. Oh, look, they've used a K instead of the Y coordinate of C, so that means that K is going to fit into your the way you'd normally substitute in numbers. Okay, but you know the answer to the recipe is 5. So all you've got to do is your distance recipe. Okay, substituting in everything you know and the answer of 5, and then solve to find K. And there are 2 possible values of the constant K. So if you don't get 2, you've done something wrong. It's a clue for the kind of equation you might get. Okay, there's a slow way and a quick way to do this. Okay, but the important thing is whichever way you do, you get 2 possible values of K.